Every person you have ever met communicated something significant to you before they said a single word. The information was transmitted through how they entered the room, where they positioned themselves, what their posture signaled, and what their face did in the half-second before they chose an expression. Most people absorb this information as a vague feeling, a gut read they cannot fully articulate. What I'm going to show you in this video is how to read that information precisely. 7 specific things the human body reveals before the mouth opens, what each one signals, and how to use this to accurately read anyone you encounter. The reason body language carries so much information is that most of it is involuntary. The verbal channel is the channel we have the most conscious control over. We choose our words, manage our tone, calibrate what we say. The body is slower to be managed. The micro-expressions, the posture shifts, the direction of the feet, the tension around the eyes. These signals emerge before the conscious mind has had time to review and edit them. This is why they are more reliable than most of what is said. There is a consistent misunderstanding about body language that I want to address immediately. No single signal means anything in isolation. Crossed arms are not always defensiveness. Looking away is not always deception. Every signal must be read in clusters and in context. What you are looking for is not a single tell, but a pattern of signals that reinforce a consistent underlying state. With that in place, here are the 7 things everyone reveals before they speak. Signal 1. How they enter a space. The first 3 seconds of entering a room are among the most information-dense moments in any social interaction. Watch for 2 distinct entry patterns. The person who pauses fractionally at the threshold scans the room before committing their full presence and moves toward a position that gives them a clear view of multiple exits and the primary door. This person processes environmental data before engaging socially. In threat assessment terms, this is called acquiring the room. It signals high situational awareness and often significant social experience. The person who enters without pausing moves immediately toward a recognized face and positions themselves with their back to the room. This person is comfort-seeking rather than environment reading. Neither is better. Both tell you what the person prioritizes when they feel uncertain. Signal 2. Where they stand relative to power. In any group setting, the physical positioning people choose around the highest status person in the room tells you how each individual assesses their own standing. People who feel socially secure position themselves within a comfortable conversational distance from high-status figures without angling their body toward them. People who feel their status is uncertain position themselves slightly outside the inner cluster and angle their body toward the center in a way that signals they are seeking inclusion rather than assuming it. Signal 3. Foot direction. The feet are the least consciously managed part of the human body in social settings. Where the feet point is where the person wants to go or who they are most engaged with. In a conversation between multiple people, the feet will consistently point toward the person the speaker is most genuinely interested in, regardless of where their eyes are directed. In a group conversation where someone appears engaged but whose feet are angled toward the exit, they have already decided the conversation is over. They are managing the social obligation of remaining while their body has already left. Signal 4. Facial microexpressions. A microexpression is a full emotional expression that passes across the face in under 1/5 of a second. It appears before the conscious expression the person chooses to present. The most important one to recognize is the contempt microexpression, a unilateral lip curl, almost always to the right side, lasting a fraction of a second before the neutral or pleasant expression returns. Research by Paul Ekman found that the presence of contempt in couples is the single strongest predictor of relationship breakdown. It predicts the outcome more reliably than conflict frequency or communication quality. In a professional context, one contempt microexpression from a person who then proceeds to agree with your proposal tells you everything about how the agreement will be honored. Signal 5. Postural echo and its sudden absence. When two people are genuinely aligned, they naturally mirror each other's posture. One leans forward and the other follows within seconds. One shifts their weight and the other adjusts. This postural echo is involuntary when rapport is genuine. The signal that matters most is when it stops. A sudden break in mirroring, one person going physically still or adjusting away from the echo without an obvious environmental cause, almost always signals a shift in internal state. Agreement that was present has moved to reservation. Comfort that was there has been replaced by something that looks like comfort but is not. Watch for the moment the mirror breaks. That moment is telling you something the other person has not said yet. Signal 6. Touch to the face during specific moments. Self-touch, specifically touching the nose, lips, or neck area, spikes measurably during moments of uncertainty, discomfort, or internal conflict. The technical term is self-pacifying behavior. The nervous system is using the touch stimulus to manage elevated arousal. The relevant moment to watch for this is not during general conversation, but specifically during moments of direct questioning or when commitments are being made. A person who touches their face when asked a direct question is experiencing internal conflict about the answer. A person who touches their face when making a commitment is experiencing doubt about the commitment. The touch is the doubt before the words arrive. Signal 7. The duration and quality of the smile. A genuine smile, what researchers call the Duchenne smile, involves the muscles around the eyes contracting involuntarily. These muscles are exceptionally difficult to activate deliberately. A social smile that does not involve the orbicularis oculi muscles around the eyes is a performed rather than felt expression. The difference is visible if you train yourself to look at the eyes rather than the mouth. The second element is duration. A genuine smile fades gradually. A performed smile drops off the face with a slight abruptness. The offset of the smile, how it ends, is often more revealing than its onset. Reading body language accurately is not about suspicion. It is about not ignoring information that is already available to you. The body communicates constantly and involuntarily. Most of what it transmits never reaches conscious awareness because we've been trained to privilege the verbal channel as the one that carries meaning. The verbal channel is the one most actively managed. The body is the channel that leaks the truth before the words have been selected. Use these 7 signals as a cluster, not a checklist. No single signal means anything certain. 2 or 3 signals pointing in the same direction is data. 4 or more signals consistently pointing toward the same state is something close to certainty. The most important thing you can develop is the habit of observing before interpreting. Watch first. Let the pattern emerge before you assign meaning. Interpreting too quickly is as unreliable as not observing at all. If this gave you a framework you are going to use, share it with someone you read people with. The full Body Language and Nonverbal Communication series is linked in the description.